Hey, what's up, AMC Apes and everyone else? I'm Chico, and thank you for stopping by. So, I want to have a quick discussion about the movie going experience versus streaming topic. As you can see, lately, the box office has been doing pretty well, thanks in part to Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible, which is a very fun and awesome movie. The Sound of Freedom is doing amazing, all the way up to 130 million and still going strong, as you can see. And of course, Barbenheimer crushing records over the past weekend, and hopefully it's going to keep going this upcoming weekend. I'm always happy to see that people are choosing to go back to the theaters. Now, about 3 weeks ago, YouTube suggested that I watch this video. I don't know this fellow. His name is Penguin Zero, and as you can see, he is very popular 13.4 million subscribers. This video alone got 3.8 million views. So he's very much an influencer, young guy. I watched the whole video. It's very good. If you're interested in this topic, you should check him out. He's a very nice guy. I like what he says, but I disagree with some of the things. So I want to discuss that. He has a cat tower right here, so that automatically makes me like him. We love cats. So let's listen to what he says and talk about it.
To its natural conclusion, you reach two questions. Are movies just getting worse, which is why people don't really care to go see them? Or do people just not really have an interest in going to a movie theater anymore? Pretty much everything we do in our day to day lives has become extremely convenient, whether it's ordering food or just general entertainment. You can watch pretty much every show and movie from the comfort of your own home, and you don't have to pay individually for each movie you want to see because eventually they hit streaming platforms that you have a subscription to. So going to a movie theater is inconvenient. You have to drive to the theater. It's also expensive because the ticket prices just keep increasing exponentially. And God have mercy on your soul if you get a little appetite or a little thirsty and decide to buy something from the concession stand, because then you're out another $50 buster, because that shit is outrageously priced. It is downright criminal how expensive things are at a movie theater. I went to see a movie.
Okay. So he says a lot of things in there that some of them are partly right. I mean, are movies getting worse? That can be true. A lot of the big movie studios are struggling lately with their quote unquote blockbusters, but there are alternatives. There are a lot of smaller places or smaller studios that are making good movies. I am trying to point them out myself on my channel, but I only have 70 subs as opposed to somebody who reaches 13.4 million. Um, there have been a lot of options, but people don't know about them and they're not used to going to a theater to go see anything other than blockbusters. But the one that worries me, what he says, is that how convenient things have become for us, and therefore people are not interested. It's too much of a hassle to go out to the movies. Um, I see that as a dangerous thing. I don't like that a lot of people think this way. I know the lockdown forced us into a lot of this way of thinking. Whether you only shop at Amazon now because it's so easy to just browse and have everything delivered to you, it's not a good thing. I'm going to show you why in a couple of minutes. um, let alone the damage that it's doing, right? All the malls are closing, and it's not a good thing. Whether you like malls or not, it has always been a place for young people to go be social, shop, go have a Cinnabon and an Orange Julius or whatever that drink is, and just hang out, really. Same goes for movie theaters, and it's another thing that Wall Street and banks that I've discussed about are trying to close down, take away from us. It's another venue that is actually affordable and for young people and people of all ages, really, to go and hang out. What I show on this is like, see, the top four movies are completely different movies. So it's something for everybody. So naturally, everybody that was interested and wants to go watch a movie, you have something to watch. Um, we went to Barbenheimer. There were so many people that it was just fun. It was fun. Everybody was laughing and having a great time, friends and families alike. Um, it's been weighing on me a lot lately because, yeah, I mean, we tend to think that way, whether having our food delivered to us is a lot simpler, just staying home. I would like to think that the lockdown uh, wore us down a little bit, got us a little tired of staying at home and watching too much Netflix. It's in part what's happening with people that seem to be wary of movies, that seem they feel like they've seen it all by now. It's probably because they've been watching too much streaming. I want to show you something like this is a little funny, but apparently in Japan they created this little bed gamer bed. Look, you have everything you need in here, right? So Japan has created the ultimate gaming bed, so you never have to rejoin society again. It's funny, it's clever. I wish I would have thought of it, to be honest, but it's also not good, right? Because it is the way that we seem to be going, not just young people, everybody. And it's not really a good thing, right? We are becoming very antisocial. And as you can see, if you spend 5 minutes on Twitter, you can see how polarized people are. Um, we have to work on that. And I want to show you like why I don't think it's a good thing if Netflix ends up winning out and Wall Street has their way, right? Streaming is the way. People like to think that we're going to get everything for 18 bucks a month anyway, so why spend the money? First of all, the money is a misconception. I believe I always talk about the AMC A-list because it's what we have, but I believe every other um, movie theater, whether it's Regal or Cinemark, they all have their own club membership to make movies cheaper. We only pay $2 a movie. 25 bucks a month gets you 12 movies. You don't have to watch them all, but that's very cheap to me. What he says about $50 at a for something to eat, it's also I don't know where he gets that price. I mean, we pay 10 bucks for 2 buckets of popcorn, which is more than we can handle, but somehow we manage to eat it. If we get our pretzel bites and drink, it's usually under 20 bucks. So I always encourage people to do that in order to support the theaters. I don't think he has a concept of how much they're struggling to make ends meet. They need people to go to theaters in order to survive. And I personally want them to survive. So um, I believe that's a misconception, and telling people that it's 50 bucks to grab a bite to eat at a theater is it's not right. It's not something you should say. But um, anyway, moving on from that, I want to show you like why it would be a danger. Because if he and many people think that Netflix will eventually have the answer to everything, right? But I try to tell people that nothing that comes from Wall Street and is supportive of Wall Street is a good thing in the end. It will be the same for Amazon. Watch and remember this: when they become the only place that you can buy from, they will charge you from for everything. Things may be free now, deliveries may be free, returns may be free, but they're gonna have to figure out a way to always make money from the consumer, and that's you. Because in the end, all these companies have to respond to the shareholders, not the consumers. So something that people may overlook at times, they may think that, I only have to pay $18 for Netflix, I can get all the content I want. It's not always true, because Netflix may have the support of Wall Street and banks right now, but as you can see, I don't want to bore you through numbers and stuff, but it descends, right? December 2021, 5 billion of net income, goes down a little bit 2022, and mind you, this is during the pandemic, right? These numbers here. So everybody was locked down watching Netflix. As you can see, now we're reopened, a lot less, right? Netflix has to spend a ton of money to bring you content, a ton of it. So it's not realistic to think that we're going to get away with just paying one little fee and we're going to get all the movies we want, everything we want. It just doesn't happen. Once there is a monopoly, we become the ones who have to pay the price. Comcast, I know this is a really old picture, but I don't really have any more old paper. But when Comcast was the king in town before Netflix, right, they would charge whatever they want. $179. This was like, I don't know, 12, 13 years ago. And I've showed this bill before, but this goes up without them telling you. And I know if any one of you has paid and had Comcast before, has got to go through this. They raise the price on you, you don't even know. Then you have to call them, deal with them, trying to get them to lower the price. When they own everything, you will always end up being the one who pays a lot of money. This is a lot for entertainment. This is why I no longer subscribe to any streaming service or Comcast cable. I choose to pay 25 bucks for my membership to the movie theater, and I only watch movies over there, and that's my entertainment. The rest is going to be internet and YouTube, and I save a lot of money doing that. Now, the reason I show you like Netflix, just the overall numbers on how they tend to work out, is because eventually they will have to get the money from you. As you can see, again, a quick overlook on how its progress over the pandemic and up to now. As you can see, it went up 84% during the peak years, right? And then it starts declining afterwards in 2021. Another decline of 16% by 2023 or June. Uh, so it's going down again. So now is when the shareholders are going to put pressure on them to make the margins meet, right? And that margin, that money is going to come from you. Um, it's always going to be a struggle. I know Disney, you wish they would have competition, but this whole streaming thing is a little bit overblown. They're all losing subscribers, they're all losing money because trying to offer services to people for less and less and less seems like a good idea to grab them, but you will never have customer loyalty, right? People will unsubscribe and subscribe like for a 3 month period and just binge watch and then cancel. It's the way these companies are teaching people to be. And it's just not working out. They're losing money left and right. Disney, you may have heard, they're not only losing subscribers, but the theme parks are suffering. Their investments are suffering. I don't know if you know how much money they spend on this Indian company here, 71 billion, and that's gone kaput. So they are in a lot of trouble. They are in a lot of trouble, and who knows where it's going to end up. But if they consolidate, it's also not a good thing. If they end up selling out to Netflix, it might be good for them temporarily. But again, nobody really wants a monopoly on the media because then, Netflix, they've gone through some controversy and somehow they still keep going, right? Whether they were showing cuties and people didn't want to see that, the pregnant guy. I don't know what's going on with Cleopatra. I see a lot of headlines. I'm not really interested in seeing what the controversy is on that. And a lot of shows, a lot of shows. So it's a slippery slope. It's something to be wary of. It's not the solution. We should always have competition in what we choose to watch or our entertainment. Don't let them funnel us into one thing and then we have no choice but to watch what they give us. Now, real quick, as you can see also, um, this makes me sad, really. Like, as far as how much money they make, and everybody has heard about the writer's strike. Netflix, a major target of the current strikes by Hollywood writers and actors, has seen an unexpected cash boost from the two labor union actions. So they're not even like really worried about the strike. In its quarterly earnings report Wednesday, Netflix said it expects to have at least $5 billion in free cash flow for 2023 because of the reduced operational costs as of the results of the strikes delaying production schedules. That's a significant increase from what they thought it was going to be 3.5 billion. So 1.5 billion, and what are they going to do with that money? Instead of taking care of the writers and what the problem is, they're just going to use it to buy back their stock. It's what they do every single time, man. So it will never be about the consumer. It will never be about the people that work there. It's really about the stock and the CEOs, right? If you want more proof, it has always been that way with Wall Street, which is why the apes of AMC are trying to fight them. Um, Railroad CEOs, I don't know if you remember when Union Pacific was the same thing. So they get paid 200 million. And as I read before, I couldn't find the article. Like, what the workers demanded was only going to cost them like 3% of their profits. They had record profits and they didn't do it, right? They crushed the workers. God forbid that they had to be so overworked and no vacation, and whatever their demands were was only going to cost them 3% of the profits. And they didn't do it. So in the end, I feel bad for the writers and the actors. They're probably going to end up losing in the long run because it will be them that needs the money, needs to work. These guys won't. As you can see, they just use the money to buy back stock. It's a shame, the society that we live in, but again, it's something that we should keep in mind when we think that getting the cheaper thing is the right thing. It's not always the right thing. We are crushing ourselves as consumers and as fans of anything if we keep supporting this way of life where we think it's too much of a hassle to get dressed, go in the car, drive to a theater, and getting some food over there. It's a big thing. Then we prefer to stay home and pay 13 bucks for whatever subscription and keep watching stuff. It's not the answer. It's something to keep in mind that it's a very dangerous slope, and we need to be aware that there are very bad people who are interested in just monetizing us in very different ways. And to them, as you can see, it just doesn't matter. It's just a number, and they find a way to monetize you. Um, another thing that I wanted to throw in, like, look, as soon as as he says that the prices of movie theaters go up, the prices go up exponentially. Is a lie. The second AMC tried to raise the prices of seats in the middle by $1, I mean, the Hobbits has came out of the woodwork, right? Elijah Wood slams AMC theaters for controversial new movie ticket prices. All they were trying to do was experiment with pricing and give cheaper prices to the upper or the front of the row, and to the middle will pay a little bit more. But right away, everybody came out and spoke against it, so it's been scrapped. Movie theaters are struggling to make money. So when we say that $10 popcorn is too much money, um, it may be so, you may think so, but it is something that we need to consider in order for things to survive. You close down movie theaters, you close down a lot of jobs, a whole industry of movie makers, entertainment venue. Be wary of those things. Uh, what was the last thing that I wanted to say? Yeah, this. Remember this and what the movie theater experience is, right? Do you rather really be at home watching it alone or even with your loved ones, but half asleep, distracted by your phone and other media? Or would you like to be them? They seem a lot happier to me, right? This is what happens when we go over there. This is what we prefer to enjoy our movies over there. Where's more tickets here? This is the way it was just last weekend. Pretty much every time that we go and see a movie, right? It's really about, although these people are posing for pictures, it is the real thing. It's something that we've done for many years, for a very long time, and people still enjoy doing it. So don't forget, don't choose to do the corporate thing and just stay home and let them monetize you. You go out and have a good time, enjoy movies with your friends. It's more about the experience than it is about anything else. So keep that in mind. This is a wow, 17 minutes. How do I do that every time? I don't know. But anyway, if you stay this long, thank you. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you on the next one.